Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Stephen Messiah. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links are provided in the description for everything we discuss this show, so let's get on with it. So this week we have the usual Around the Verse with Sandy Gardner and Ben Lesnick. There is 10 for the producers this time as Chris is in Manchester, so we have Darian Vorlik and Travis Day. And there is a new patch which releases the Gladiator. So on 10 for the chairman, it was a little different this time because it was the producers. We had Darian Vorlik and Travis Day as Chris Roberts, and a good chunk of the team are in Manchester. I believe it'll obviously have something to do with Squadron 42 and maybe Arena Commander 1.0, but they did not specify. So I didn't pick all the questions, only a few. Let's get on with it. So what changes can we expect from the Cutlass now it's come back to Foundry 42? Although they didn't really specify too much into this, what we got out of this question was that it will appear in the Squadron 42 campaign quite a bit. Now, whether or not that's as pirates, which I would have thought so, considering it is classed as a pirate ship along with the Caterpillar, or whether or not it'll be the Cutlass Red with the ambulance variant, or the Cutlass Blue as the police style of variant. So we're not too sure, but there's some clues in there, so we'll keep our eyes peeled. So next question: what ways can new backers contribute and engage, or other way around, to the game? So if you're a new backer and you want to know how you can get into the game, you know, the best approach for it, because it is quite daunting, I expect, having so much information out there, a lot of people already very versed in the verse, and just knowing where to start. Travis suggested reading and watching everything that's already been released on the RSA website, so you don't ask a question that's already been answered, which is obviously not likely considering there'll be hours and hours and hours, hundreds of hours worth of content to read through. So the best option, and I agree with this, is to hop onto the forums, hop onto the Robert Space Industries chat roll. You know, there's going to be fans there's going to be actual people working on the game, the developers are there answering questions, and if just ask a question to one of them. Say, you know, I don't know if this has been asked before, what happens here, or how does this work? Just ask a question, you know, don't be afraid to, because you'll never learn otherwise, you know, you won't know what you need to know. I'm hoping this show is actually helping you with this whole problem of being a new backer, but honestly, just enjoy the ride. It's totally worth it. So the question after that was, to what scale is the sort of FPS PU planned? So how far can we walk? Because they were saying they saw like Artcore demo where there was a big sprawling 30 million population city in the background, but yet you can only walk in a little city area, or a little town area should I say. And Travis explains that there's 105 star systems planned, and each system has roughly about 4 landing zones on each, from large cities to like a remote outpost. If you take something like Terra, for example, which is one of the main cities, one of the main systems, there is Terra Prime, which I believe is the main city in Terra. From there, there's a huge sprawling city apparently, and you can actually get the monorail to the blocks. Now, we have seen images of the monorail. I'll try and find it again for this show, and I'll put it up for you to see. But there's going to be different areas, and what they will do is each patch that they roll out over time will just add a new area where you can explore. Hopefully, they'll roll out more than one at every time, because otherwise they'll just be bombarded with lots of people going to the same area. But yeah, so there's constantly going to be stuff added, not to mention space stations and all these sort of other places where you can explore on foot. So it's not just going to be a novelty, isn't the FPS, where, you know, you land and then you, instead of just doing something like from Elite where you would just you stay in your ship or whatever and then just sell stuff from there, you wouldn't actually have to be able to walk around. There's going to be a reason for walking around, not just going to a place to buy something or sell something. There's going to be a genuine reason to do it. So there's going to be a lot. So be trusty with them. Trust them, I think is what I'm trying to say. So the last question, which I found particularly interesting because I've never heard of this before, is when can we get Arena Commander currency? Now, this is the first time I've heard it, as I say, and what it is you will be able to earn credits, I assume via dogfighting and other game modes, winning races perhaps, where you can use those credits to buy other ships and other items within Arena Commander and open them, you know, like I suppose Gran Turismo, if you won a race you would win a car, for instance, so you would win credits or whatever and you can buy cars and so forth. So it's the same principle where you would kill someone, you would get so many points, and those points convert into currency, and then you'll buy weapons, items, ships. Whether or not it is going to be a recurring payment where you rent it or it's a one-off payment, I'd assume it'll be a one-off payment, and I hope it is. And then, like, I suppose Arena Commander will be a game in itself where you have to unlock so much. it still needs to be fleshed out, and apparently they're asking the community, us, to flesh it out for them. You know, they have this idea, or we came up with the idea, and they want us to just tell them how we want it to be. So I thought that was really cool, and I love the idea of being able to open like a Mustang for racing, or the Hornet, because I only have my Aurora, and those Aurora pilots we're quite limited, to be fair. Through choice, obviously. But yeah, this is supposed to be coming out pre 2.0, so before the multi-crew ship comes out, we'll be able to have these currency, and then hopefully, when the multi-crew ship patch does come out, we'll be able to buy multi-crew ships with this currency. But this does not translate into the persistent universe. So if you if you open a ship in the Arena Commander, you cannot then fly that in the persistent universe. The Arena Commander is literally a in-fiction simulation for the persistent universe. It won't carry across. Anyway, that's it for 10 for the Chairman producers. So let's move on. Okay, so around the verse number 24 with Sandy and Ben as usual. They mentioned about the new patch that has come out. I think it came out Friday. It is the Gladiator is now hangar ready, and it looks amazing. I really wish I could get on board one of them, but I don't have one, unfortunately. It's got this double cockpit that comes down, and obviously the rear seat is for the gunner, forward seat is for the pilot. I feel like you may be a little low down, so hopefully you can alter the ride height. But anyway, the liqueur cabinet, now if you've got a liqueur cabinet, you can actually get drunk. I shall show you it on here soon. And they also wanted to mention again doing a fly-off, Sandy and Ben, on December the 19th, which is when the live stream is. So tune in for that to see who wins. So, news from around the verse, starting with Arena Commander. Multiple missiles, including the Rattler, are almost complete. And these missiles look really cool. Obviously, this is for Arena Commander 1.0, which is obviously going to feature the new signatures for each ship, for each item. Everything will have its own signature, being heat, electromagnetic, or something else. And I can't remember what the friggin' hell it is. Yeah, so the Rattler, which is the one with all the little missiles in the front, I'll show an image of that. Really, really cool stuff. I cannot wait for 1.0. Next part is the AI countermeasures have begun, so the Vandal will now evade your missiles using their own chaff or flares. Hopefully it won't be the same chaff and flare as our own race, which would be a bit of a coincidence if they had the same stuff, but it might be just for the sake of, you know, getting it out there quick. HUD missile selection is being finalised, which will hopefully look very snazzy. I love my HUD, I love playing with the HUD, and hopefully there'll be a really quick way to access it with the new HOTAS controller, or just in general with the mouse and keyboard. So Squadron 42, they are continuing to polish the landing mechanic, and we often hear about this, and apparently there's going to be a design document out soon for us all to see on how it works, because obviously we've got the automatic and the manual landing for Squadron 42. If you're feeling brave, go for it, why not? So the FPS cover system has received improvements, and a lot of people apparently are a bit skeptical about this. They're unsure of, you know, why they're changing it, but we haven't seen it really anyway, so don't worry about it. Hopefully it'll work well. I know the QA say that it's a big improvement to what it was. So when the FPS demo comes out, we shall test it out and see how it works. So PU, art for the Astro Armada has continued. Now this is one of the first ship showrooms shops that we've seen, because that's a good use of alliteration, isn't it? I'll try and get the image of it. It's basically where you would go in, like a car showroom, you'd go in, check out your ships, maybe take it for a test drive, I don't know, maybe not. And yeah, just sort of see which ones you like, basically. So the PU transition from hangar to planetside to space is being tweaked, and we shall probably see that next year when obviously we see the new demos and modules coming out. Peaceful NPC tasks have continued work. So Ben explains that they don't just obviously attack you and fight with you. They are obviously doing things anyway. I keep saying obviously. It's not obvious to a lot of people, let alone me. They interact with the world, so maybe a bartender will clean a glass. Just doing idle things when they're not serving you or other real players, just so it looks real, basically, and they're not just stood around doing naff all. So, ships. The Retaliator interior is being worked on. Now, fear not. This is down in the UK, which is for Squadron 42. It's not a massive change, they say, they're just getting it ready for the hangar. So the Mustang ejection seat is being implemented. They apparently now have a checklist for everything. We know about the ship pipeline, and there's a checklist where every ship must have some form of ejection system. Now, the Aurora does not have an ejection seat because she would go smack into the roof, which would not be pleasant. So you have to literally get out of your chair, run to your airlock, open your airlock and jump out, provided you've got your EVA suit on. Otherwise, you'll just turn into the goggly-eyed woman in Total Recall. So Aurora intakes are being fixed. Now, they specify that old ships, a lot of these ships that have been out for a good 2 years now, that we know of, are still not finalised. So I myself own the Aurora LX. I'm still using the MR in the hangar, so hopefully when a 1.0 comes out, it will be the LX. But it's not finalised. They're still polishing every ship, all the old ships. The stats are definitely not finalised. Don't take them as a given. But yeah, they're going through everything, making sure everything is ready and up to date with everything else, because obviously new ships are coming out and they need to keep them in the same level. So FPS, damaged limb movement, has begun implementation. So we saw back about a month ago, 2 months ago, there was the FPS health system and how this will work. It was just after they launched the FPS demo, so it was last month, and it showed us how the damage is going to work and how the healing and the health system, and obviously every arm and limb is different. It's separate, so if you get shot in your arm, you won't be able to use it as well. Your aim will be off. Shot in the leg, you'll limp. You won't be as quick. You may bleed out. All this nonsense. It's being implemented now into the FPS, so it'll work when we get our hands on. So plasma ammo no longer shoots through doors. That is pretty much self-explanatory. No need to go on about that one. So the battle sphere is in its white boxing is continued. Now, they said we don't know what the battle sphere is. Nobody knows yet other than the developers, but I can assume it'll be some sort of 3D globe that is a zero-G training room. So you would go inside. Think of, if you've seen Ender's Game, I would assume it'd be like that. Battle and sphere. I hate the word sphere. I just can't say it properly. It sounds weird. But yeah, it sounds to me like it's going to be like Arena Commander, but for FPS, zero-G, battling out. So you get used to practicing in zero-G. Quite straightforward, I reckon, but I could be completely wrong. So Bug Smashers. Now, this week's, it's about malformed packets. Or malformed packets. Now, I have no idea what that even means. I even had to Google that to find out if that was what he said, because it means nothing to me. If this is something you're interested in, if you are one of these Bug Smasher kind of guys, check it out. Mark Bent will show you how it's done. So the most valuable post was to an Andy B, who has done a big list of videos and podcasts, put them all together, fan podcasts and official podcasts and videos. So if you want all the content, a good chunk of it, check it out. There's also other languages for it too, so if you are foreign, or you don't speak English, then you're probably not listening to this, so it's pointless me telling you. But yeah, they do it in different languages, so check it out if you're interested. So the interview was with William Weisbaum, who is one of the writers. He obviously writes a lot of the lore. He's doing a lot in Squadron 42 as well with the storyline. If you want to see what questions were asked him from the community, check it out. And the sneak peek this week, I love saying it like that, was, to me, it looked like the UEE Marines. Ben has obviously been told off for telling us what it is every time, as he hasn't done it for the past couple of weeks, so well done. But so I think it's the UEE Marines. The suits, the battle suits that they're wearing look gorgeous. I really can't wait to have a collection of these in my hangar or in my planetside apartment, just thinking, which one shall I wear today? They said, to finish off, they said that the Gladiator brochure will be available, so it should be available now. I haven't even checked. And obviously 10 AM PST time is the live stream on the 19th of December. If you are free, I believe this is about 6 o'clock British time or GMT time. If you're free, check it out. It was definitely worth waiting for. At least it's early this time. Last time it was about 2 and 3 in the morning, and I stayed up for it, which was insane because it didn't finish till like 5. I'm an idiot. But anyway, check it out. It's really worth it. So also this week we met with Stephen Cam, who is also known as Toast, and he is the paralegal for CIG. There was a new post called New Congress Now, which is called Emergency Session, which I haven't read yet. I will do when I'm having a poo, as most times. There's a new patch out, which is version 0.9.2.2, and I believe that 1.0 is the next one after this one, whenever that may be, which adds the Gladiator. If you own the Gladiator, it is now in your hangar. It's hangar ready to be sat in, to be explored and marvelled over. And also on that note, there's a new brochure for it, so if you're someone who loves reading the brochures, check it out. Really, really cool, very military-esque. They also added a new holiday wreath. We had one in our previous hangars a year or two back. Now with the new hangars, they've obviously given us another one for this Christmas. I haven't seen it myself yet because I was probably too drunk to notice it, because I was getting drunk with my liqueur cabinet, which the drunk effect has also been implemented. I shall show you my video hopefully now if I've timed it well. There's a new lore builder, number 25, which is to do with more free time, and it's basically what people can do in their free time. It was posted last week as well. We had a similar post asking people for ideas, and a lot of them there's 5 different card games. I won't go into them, but check them out if you're interested in what card games you might be able to play in the PU. Tiny Teas. Now, they're all $5. These extra small, just one extra small, sorry, I stumbled then. T-shirts, they're $5 a piece. Hoodies, the redacted hoodies with Drake Interplanetary are back, and they're $40. So if you are looking to buy your girlfriend for Christmas a t-shirt, now's your chance, and they're only $5. Not that she would want one, mind. There's also been some other December flair for all backers. We obviously know about the wreath, and there is also the Mustang Alpha model. So if you go into your hangars now, you will see there's a little display shelf for these, is it Take-Two or something, like an in-fiction brand of model ships. And I hope to God they release Airfix models for these ships, because I love doing Airfix models, not that I ever find the time, mind. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, you should be able to now see the Alpha model. Subscribers, if you're a subscriber, we get the Delta, although I did notice that we have the box at the bottom that says Delta, but it is in place of the Gamma. So I wonder if they're going to have to fix that sooner or later. Right, well that's it for this week. There wasn't very much happening. I expect they're all very busy working on 1.0 and getting ready for this live stream that's happening on the 19th of December. So don't forget to tune in then, and also next week for next Sunday's Star Citizen Sunday, and also with my system guides coming out soon. I promise it'll be soon. Join me for them. Don't forget to subscribe, comment if you've got anything to say, share it if you will, like it if you can, and I shall see you in the verse.